Good morning, students. In the previous session, we have completed the first 8 sums from 3.1. Right? In theory of equation, exercise 3.1, we have completed the first 8 questions, right? So today, we are going to discuss the remaining sums, question number 9, 10, 11 and 12. So in theory of equation 3.1, the 9th question, see the 9th question now. This is one of the very important 5-mark question. So listen carefully. If P and Q are the roots of the equation Lx square plus Nx plus N equal to 0, then show that square root of P by Q plus root of Q by P plus square root of N by L, which is equal to 0. So given the roots of this equation are alpha and beta, P and Q, right? Instead of alpha and beta, it is given P and Q. Our aim is to prove sum of these 3 terms equal to 0. Okay? Now, let's do the sum now. So, P and Q are the roots of the equation Lx square plus Nx plus N equal to 0. So, we can find the sum of the root. That is, the sum of the root is equal to P plus Q. That is minus B by A, right? Here B, this is our A, this one is our B, this one is our C. So minus N by L. Actually the formula is what? Minus B by A. Here B is equal to N, A is equal to L. So minus N by L. Now the product of the roots, that is PQ. PQ is equal to C by A. Here the value of C is N, A is L. So N by L. But our aim is to prove square root of P by Q plus square root of Q by P plus square root of N by L, which is equal to 0. If we consider the first 2 terms, we are simplifying the first 2 terms only. We can keep the last term as it is. Okay, so root of P by Q can be written as root P by root Q plus root of Q by P can be written as root Q by root P plus square root of N by L. We are not doing anything with this root of N by L. We are simplifying only the first 2 terms. If we take the LCM, of the first 2 terms, what's the LCM? Root P into root Q. The LCM is root of PQ. So, we want to cross multiply this root P with this one. So, root P into root P, P. Root Q into root Q, Q. Plus root of N by L. But the value of P plus Q we know very well. What is P plus Q? See, P plus Q is equal to minus N by L. So, minus N divided by L, the whole divided by root of PQ. Root of PQ is N by L. So, root of PQ, no, so root of N by L plus root of N by L. We know A by root A. What is A by root A? This A can be written as root A into root A divided by root A. Root A into root A is A. If we cancel one root A, what is remaining? Root A. That means A by root A is simply written as in the form of root A. So if we consider this as one A, this is also A. So A by root of A. So this can be simplified as root of n by L, right? So minus root of n by L plus root of n by L plus root of n by L minus root of n by L is 0. So the answer is 0, plus minus, same term, no? Is it clear? See, a by root a means root a. Likewise, n by L divided by root of n by L is root of n by L. So this is the easy way to solve this sum. But this question carries 5 marks. Very, very important question. So do focus on this question. Okay? Now we can move on to the next question. Question number 10. See question number 10. If the equations x square plus px plus q equal to 0 and x square plus p dash x plus q dash equal to 0 have a common root, then show that it must be equal to p q dash minus p dash q, the whole divided by q minus q dash, or q minus q dash by p dash minus p. So what is given? These two equations has a common root. Suppose if you are taking alpha is a common root for these two equations. If alpha is a root means that alpha must satisfy this equation. That means if you replace this x by alpha, this equation has to satisfy, right? So these two equations has one common root. We are taking alpha is common. The root alpha is common for both the equations. Okay? So let alpha be a common root for these two equations. Let alpha be a common root of the equations x square plus px plus q equal to 0 and x square plus p dash x plus q dash is equal to 0. Alpha is a root means if we replace this x by alpha, this alpha must satisfy this equation. That is the meaning of the root, right? So if you are replacing this x by alpha, we get alpha square plus p into alpha plus q is equal to 0. Likewise, from the second equation, we'll get alpha square plus p dash into alpha plus q dash is equal to 0. That means we obtained two quadratic equations in alpha. We know very well the solving of system of linear equations. There are three methods. One is substitution method, then the second method is elimination, then the third one is cross multiplication method. These three methods already we have studied in the lower classes, right? In class 10, we have studied the cross multiplication method. So by eliminating alpha from these two equations, alpha from equation 1 and 2, we are going to use cross multiplication method. So in that method, first we want to write the elements of the first equation from the middle, p, q, 1, the coefficient only, right? The coefficient of alpha. So p, q, 1. p, q, 1 again the first term we want to write one more time. Likewise, P dash Q dash 1. P dash Q dash 1. Again the first term we want to write one more time, that is P dash. Here alpha square, here alpha and 1. Now, if you are expanding this, that is alpha square by product of these two minus product of these two, that is alpha square by P into Q dash, that is PQ dash minus Q into P dash, that is P dash Q, which is equal to alpha divided by, now we have to consider only this much. So cross multiply Q minus Q dash. First we want to multiply these two terms, that is Q minus, then multiply the other two elements. 1 into Q dash is Q dash, which is equal to 1 by these 4 elements. So just expand 1 into P dash minus 1 into P, that is P. So these 3 entries are equal, right? So we can consider the first 2 terms first, then second and third. If you are considering first and second, what will get? Consider alpha square by PQ dash minus P dash Q, which is equal to alpha by Q minus Q dash. If we strike out one alpha and alpha, then cross multiply this term, we will get alpha is equal to, it is moving to the numerator, so PQ dash minus P dash Q divided by Q minus Q dash, right? Also, first here we considered the first and second term, right? Suppose if you are taking the second and last, so we'll get alpha by Q minus Q dash is equal to 1 by P dash minus Q, P dash minus P. If we cross multiply this term, we'll get alpha is equal to Q minus Q dash by P dash minus P. See, just cross multiply this term, so it is moving to numerator, 1 into Q dash by P dash minus P. So this is alpha. So alpha is getting 2 values. That means the root of the equation are the 2 different form, that is PQ dash minus P dash Q by Q minus Q dash, or the another one Q minus Q dash by P dash minus P. Is it clear? Okay. Now we can move on to the next question, question number 11. See the question. Formulate into a mathematical problem to find a number such that when its cube root is added to it, the result is 6. So here we are not going to solve this sum, but we have to create one cubic equation. We have to create one cubic equation to find a number such that its cube root is added to it, the result is 6. Suppose if you are taking x be the required number, x be the required number, so cube root of x is added to it. That means cube root of x plus x, it means that number is x, right? So cube root of x plus x, which is equal to 6. So from the relation we have to find out one cubic equation. Let's see the answer now. So let us take the required number, that is x. So let x be the required number. So by data means according to the problem, What is given? The cube root of a number. The cube root of this number is cube root of x. See, it is given. The cube root of x is added to it. That means if you are adding the cube root of that number and that number, the sum is becoming 6. Is it clear? So just we transformed the sentence into the steps, right? See, cube root of x plus that number is becoming 6. So from this equation, we have to create one cubic equation. For that, we are bringing this x to the right hand side. So we will get cube root of x. Cube root of x is equal to 6 minus x. Suppose there is one square root. How can we remove the square root? By squaring. Here we are having cube root. So how can we remove the cube root? By cubing or raise the power to 3. Raising the power to 3 or just simply cubing on both sides. If we apply the power 3 on both sides, cube root of x the whole cube is equal to 6 minus x the whole cube. This cube root of something the whole cube. Cube root and the cube is getting cancelled. So remaining is x. It is in the form a minus b the whole cube. What is a minus b the whole cube? A minus b the whole cube is a cube minus 3a square b plus 3ab square minus b cube. So it is becoming now a cube minus 3a square into b plus 3a b square minus b cube. See, the higher degree term x cube is getting negative sign. So we are taking all these terms into the left hand side. So this minus x cube is becoming plus x cube. Then s square term 3, 6 are 18. So plus 18 is becoming minus 18. Then x term 6 square 36. 36 times 3, that is 108. So 108x, right? Minus 108x. It is moving to left hand side. So it will become plus. Plus 108x. Already there we have 1x. So when we are adding, what will get? 109x. Here 10x. Here 1x. So total 109x. 6 cube. 6 into 6 into 6. 6 6 are 36. 36 times 6, that is 216. So plus 216, right? It is moving to left hand side. It will become minus 216, which is equal to 0. So this is the required cubic equation. See the next question. Question number 12. This is the last sum from this part. Go through the question. See, a 12-meter tall tree was broken into 2 parts. It was found that the height of the part which was left standing was the cube root of the length of the part that was cut away. Formulate this into a mathematical problem to find the height of the part which was cut away. So this is one word problem. If you are not understanding the concept means, you can read the question 2 or 3 times. Try to understand the meaning of the question, then only we can able to do the sum. Okay? So repeat the sum one more time. There is one tall tree. which is of height 12 meter. It is broken into two parts. One part is still standing, the other part is fell down, right? But it is given that the height of the part which was left standing, the height of the part which was left standing was the cube root of the length of the part that was cut away. So this is the main concept, right? The height of the part which was left standing was the cube root of the length of the part that was cut away. So using this result, we have to formulate, we have to create one cubic equation. Okay? That is the answer, right? See, no need to solve the equation. Our aim is to formulate one problem to find the height of the part which was cut away. Right? Is it clear now? Okay? Let's see the sum now. This is the ground level. So here is the tree. Suppose the tree is broken into two parts. If you are taking this part, the part which was standing left standing is x, this one is y. But it is given that the total height of the tree, that is 12 meter. That means x plus y is equal to 12, right? See the question one more time. It is given that there is one tree which is of height 12 meter, which is broken into two parts. We are taking the two parts be x and y. This x part is still standing, right? The leftover part. This y part is fell down. But it is given that the height of the part which was left standing was the cube root of the length of the part that was cut away. So we are taking the height of the part which was left standing be x. Let x be the height of the part left standing. And y be the part of tree, y be the part of the tree cut away. So by data, what is given? See the second sentence now. It was found that the height of the part which was left standing, the height of the part left standing is x, right? So x is equal to cube root of the length of the part that was cut away. That means cube root of y. See, it is given the length of the part left standing was cube root of the length of the part that was cut away. So from this relation, we have to frame one cubic equation. So from this, see, the height of the tree is 12. That means x plus y is equal to 12. So from this, we can find y. What is y? Y is equal to 12 minus x. If we use the value of y here, x is equal to cube root of 12 minus x. Now we are going to remove this cube root. For that, either we can cubing on both sides, or we can do one thing, raise the power of both sides by 3, or raising the power to 3. So it will become x cube, which is equal to cube root of 12 minus x, the whole cube. That is x cube, which is equal to this cube root and cube are getting cancelled. So we'll get to 12 minus x. If you take these two terms into the left hand side, it will become x cube. This minus x is becoming plus x. This 12 becomes minus 12, which is equal to 0. So we got now x cube plus x minus 12 is equal to 0. So this is the required cubic equation to find the height of the tree which was cut away. Okay, students. Now we can move on to exercise 3.2. The first question. See the question. If k is real, discuss the nature of roots of the polynomial equation 2x square plus kx plus k equal to 0 in terms of k. So we have to find out, we have to discuss the nature of the roots of this equation. We know very well the nature of quadratic equation, right? That is b square minus 4ac. b square minus 4ac equal to 0. Then the roots are real and equal. Suppose if b square minus 4ac is positive, that is greater than 0, then we can say the roots are real and unequal. Suppose the value of b square minus 4ac is negative, that is less than 0, then we can say the roots are not real or the roots are imaginary. So the same thing only we are going to discuss here in this sum. So here given one quadratic equation 2x square plus kx plus k equal to 0. So the value of a, what is the value of a? 2, b is equal to k and c is also k. A, b and c. Reason is the quadratic equation is in the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now we are going to find out the value of b square minus 4ac. The nature of the root depending on the value of b square minus 4ac. So b square minus 4ac is equal to b, that is k. So b square minus 4 into a is 2, then c is k. So both the term contains one k, right? So k is common. If we take k outside, k minus 8. Our aim is to find the value of k, or based on the value of k, we have to discuss the nature of the roots, right? Suppose if k is a negative value, k is less than 0. If k is negative, see, for example, if we take k is equal to minus 2, so minus 2, here minus 2, minus 10, minus or minus plus. That means when k is less than 0, k is less than 0 means k is negative, then b square minus 4ac is positive. Suppose if we apply some value for k, some negative value for k, minus 3, here minus 3, here minus 3, minus 8. Minus 3 minus 8 is minus 11. Minus 3 into minus 11 is plus 33. So minus or minus plus. We don't want the exact value, we need only the sign, either positive or negative. So this is positive, means we can say the polynomial has real and distinct roots or unequal roots, right? Therefore, the equation has real and unequal roots. Instead of unequal, we can use the word distinct roots. Now come to the second case. Suppose if k is equal to 0, what will happen to this term? 0 into number, so total is 0. Or suppose if k is equal to 8 minus 8, 0, 0 into number, 0. So either k is equal to 0 or k is equal to 8, b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. When we are applying k is equal to 0, 0 into number 0, or when we apply k is equal to 8 also, it is becoming 0. If b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, then what can we say? The roots are real and equal, right? Therefore, the equation has real and equal roots. Then case 3. If we apply some values between 0 and 8, when 0 less than k less than 8, that means if we apply some value between 0 and 8, keep some 4, k is equal to 4, what will happen? 4 minus 8 minus 4, minus 4 into plus 4, minus 16, so negative, right? So b square minus 4ac is less than 0. Suppose if we apply some value between 0 and 8, our b square minus 4ac is becoming negative. Negative means the roots are not real, or simply we can say the roots are imaginary. Therefore, the equation has imaginary roots. Now case 4. When we apply some values more than 8, so k is greater than 8. If we apply some value more than 8, for example k is equal to 10, what will happen? 10 into 10 minus 8. 10 minus 8 is 2, 2 into 10 is 20. So positive. So we are getting b square minus 4ac as positive, greater than 0. Therefore, the equation has real and unequal roots. So these are the values of k which says the nature of the roots of the equation, right? There are 4 cases. So we applied different values for k. When we are applying different values of k, this equation is getting different types of equations. or different types of roots. Is it clear? Now see the second question. Find a polynomial equation of minimum degree with rational coefficients having 2 plus root 3i as a root. So we have to find out one polynomial equation which is having 2 plus root 3 as one of the root. So, given that 2 plus root 3i is one of the root of the equation. But in the previous chapter, that is in complex number, we have studied the complex root occur in pair. That means one complex number is coming as a root means the conjugate of that particular number is also coming as a root. So here 2 plus 3i is one of the root. That means its a conjugate, that is 2 minus root 3i is also a root of the equation. So we got two roots, right? With the two roots, we can form one quadratic equation. That is x square minus sum of the root into x plus product is equal to 0. Therefore, sum of the roots, that is equal to 2 plus root 3i, that is the first root, plus 2 minus root 3i is the second root, plus root 3i minus root 3i. 2 plus 2, that is 4. Similarly, product of the roots, that is 2 plus root 3i into 2 minus root 3i. It is in the form a plus b into a minus b. A plus b into a minus b is a square minus b square. 2 square is 4 minus root 3 square is 3. I square is minus 1. So minus of minus plus 4 plus 3 is 7. So sum of the root is equal to 4. Product of the root is equal to 3. So with this we can form one quadratic equation. Right? Therefore, the required equation is x square minus sum of the root into x plus product of the root is equal to 0. That is x square minus sum of the root. Sum of the root is 4. So 4x plus product, that is 7, which is equal to 0. Is it clear? Okay. So with this we completed 2 sums from 3.2. The remaining 3 sums we will discuss in the next class. Okay, the next session. Thank you.